In the sprawling metropolis of New Chicago, skyscrapers loomed like sentinels against a star-studded sky, their neon glow illuminating the bustling streets below. Holographic advertisements flickered across every surface, selling everything from the latest advancements in technology to tantalizing culinary experiences. Amidst this cacophony, Ava Chen, a passionate xenobiologist, felt like a lone star lost in an expansive universe. Seated at her cluttered desk, adorned with star charts and alien artifacts, she leaned over a series of glowing screens. Each frequency she tuned into whispered stories of distant worlds, drawing her in with promises of discovery. Her colleagues often called her a dreamer, dismissing her passion for alien life as misguided optimism. But Ava felt a driving need, deep in her bones, to connect with the cosmos. As she sipped her synth coffee, a garbled signal cut through the din of background chatter. Ava's heart raced as the words coalesced into an urgent plea. Ambushed! Help! Fleeing! Eldara! Each broken phrase ignited a spark of determination within her. Eldara, a name that conjured images of harmonious societies and beauty wrapped in compassion. Anxiety twisted in her gut at the thought of them in peril. Fueled by a sense of urgency, Ava sprang to her feet. We need to help, she declared, adrenaline coursing through her veins like electricity. Moments later, as she prepared to alert her superiors, a familiar figure appeared in the doorway. Trent, a seasoned scientist with a reputation for skepticism, eyed her with concern. Ava, do you really think you can handle a situation like this alone? Helpless aliens could be at the mercy of ruthless pirates. It's dangerous. I can't wait, Ava replied, her voice firm. The Eldara need us. If I can reach them, I might be their only hope. Trent's expression softened slightly. If you go, I'll inform the others. But you need to be cautious. Don't do anything reckless. With a surge of gratitude, Ava grabbed her gear and made her way to the launch platform. The little craft hummed to life, and for a moment, she found solace in the promise of adventure. As she ascended into the night, her heart raced. The weight of responsibility pressed upon her. What if she was too late? What if the Eldara needed someone stronger? The questions gnawed at her, but she couldn't turn back now. She owed it to them. Navigating through the atmosphere, Ava's ship skimmed the outskirts of New Chicago, heading toward the distant coordinates of the crash site. The descent wove a tapestry of views. Clusters of trees intermingled with the remnants of a forgotten landscape. Smoke billowed in the distance, hinting at a recent catastrophe. Touching down near the scorched earth, her heart sank as she surveyed the devastation. The vibrant green foliage was marred with charred remnants, and the once thriving biodiversity lay in tatters. Hello, is anyone here? Ava called out, her voice echoing against the silence. A weak whimper broke the stillness. Help, please. A flurry of urgency propelled Ava forward. Among the wreckage, she saw a small figure. Sandra stood there, an alien child trembling amidst the debris. Her luminescent skin flickered like starlight, while her large, tear-filled eyes mirrored a haunting fear. I'm here to help you, Ava exclaimed, kneeling to meet Sandra's gaze. What happened? Where is your crew? Pirates came. They wanted to capture us, Sandra sniffed, battling tears. I ran, but I'm lost now. Ava's heart twisted in empathy. The fears etched on Sandra's face echoed her own fragile sense of safety. You're safe with me now, I promise. Just then, the unmistakable roar of engines sliced through the air, jolting Ava back to reality. The pirates were returning. Quick, we need to hide, Ava urged, tugging Sandra toward the denser thicket. The leaves lashed at their skin like angry whispers, but they pressed on, adrenaline transforming fear into determination. Where can we go? Sandra gasped, looking around in panic. Just follow me, Ava shouted, her pulse racing. As they settled behind a cluster of bushes, Ava felt the tension thicken the air. She could hear the growl of the pirates' engines drawing nearer. Before they could strategize a plan of escape, the gang of tough-faced pirates landed nearby, their voices booming with brutish laughter. Ava's throat tightened. They were mere moments away from discovery. Split up! I'll draw their attention, she whispered fiercely, desperation intertwining with resolve. Are you sure about this? Sandra squeaked, uncertainty pooling in her eyes. Yes, trust me. Ava called over her shoulder, adrenaline propelling her as she sprinted into the underbrush, thoughts racing with plans for survival. As Ava activated her distraction device, a small, holographic gadget designed to emit lights and sounds, she pressed it into the foliage. The pirates, intrigued, veered off in pursuit of the shimmering decoy, leaving Sandra safely hidden. "Go now," Ava urged, knowing that time was running short. Heart pounding, Ava dashed back to Sandra, fearing the worst. "We need to move," she urged, grabbing the alien child's trembling hand and guiding her away from danger. As they wove through dense vegetation, branches clawed at their clothes, but the adrenaline fueled their escape. "Where are we going?" Sandra whispered, glancing back nervously. "To a safe place," Ava replied, her breath hitching as they sprinted deeper into the forest. Every rustle and crack sounded like an approaching threat. Diving behind a fanned-out fern, they stumbled into a secluded grove, sunlight filtering through the canopy overhead. It was a sanctuary, tranquil and untouched, a contrast to the chaos they had just fled. In the calm, Ava took a moment to catch her breath, met by Sandra's expressive eyes. "Why would you risk your life to save me? You could have left me behind," Sandra said, voice trembling. The question hung in the air, challenging Ava's intentions. "Because I believe in kindness. Not all humans are driven by fear or greed. Some of us want to help others, no matter the danger." "I won't abandon you," she answered earnestly, a sense of purpose settling in her heart. Ava glanced around their hidden refuge. This was their chance to regroup. The days that followed transformed into moments of shared experiences, stories, and laughter, paving the way for trust. She shared the beauty of Earth, illuminating the wonders of her world, its vibrant cultures, struggles, and resilience. Sandra, in turn, painted vivid pictures of Alara, skies awash in colors beyond imagination, music that harmonized with the planet's very pulse, and a society built on compassion and understanding. Through their exchanges, they learned about one another's backgrounds, each story deepening their connection. On Alara, we have a saying, "Connection is our greatest strength," Sandra explained, a bright light igniting in her eyes. "That's beautiful," Ava replied, feeling the weight of her own culture's darkness. "I've seen cruelty overshadow kindness. It's harder to witness when you want to believe in the best of others." Days faded into nights spent under the stars, unveiling dreams and aspirations. With every laugh shared and every moment of vulnerability, Ava felt the barriers of loneliness dissipate, and together they forged an unbreakable bond. In the sanctuary of the grove, Ava began to see Sandra as more than just an alien in need. The young girl radiated strength and resilience, a beacon of hope. Each day brought them closer, both as friends and allies. One brilliant afternoon, the light breaking through the trees seemed to carry a sense of destiny. "Let me show you something I've been working on," Ava proposed excitedly. "What is it?" Sandra asked, eyes wide with curiosity. "This is a repurposed energy shield generator I created," Ava explained, pulling out her makeshift gadget. "If we can make it together, it might protect us if the pirates return." Sandra peered at the device, wonder dancing in her eyes. "Can I help?" "Of course. Your energy could enhance it," Ava replied, enthusiasm bubbling. As they teamed up to build the device, Ava felt a rush of purpose. Hours passed as they exchanged ideas, seamlessly combining technology and imagination. Sandra focused her energy, and together they crafted a dynamic shield generator, humming with life. "I did it! I didn't know I could do this," Sandra declared, a blend of wonder and pride brightening her features. "You're incredible," Ava cheered, relief flooding her senses. "Together we can make a difference." In their newfound camaraderie, they practiced their respective skills. Ava introduced Sandra to basic scientific principles, while Sandra honed her abilities in manipulating energy. With every session, their synergy blossomed, a partnership built on trust. "Have you ever thought about your dreams?" Sandra asked one evening, their campfire crackling. "Honestly, I've always wanted to explore the galaxy, but I didn't know how," Ava admitted, staring into the flames. "I wanted to prove that humanity is worth more than the negative perceptions, but now I want to advocate for all beings." Sandra nodded, contemplating her own dreams. "I want to bring the message of compassion back to Alara. We need to unite against the challenges we face." That night, they explored the depths of their hearts, delving into hopes and fears. "I've never had a friend like you," Sandra confessed, her voice soft yet resolute. "You're different. You see me, not just my appearance. That's because you're special, Sandra," Ava reassured her. "We both have a role in this journey, and together, we can create change." With shared determination, they reinforced their bonds, each layer of understanding enriching their connection. One sun-drenched morning, the forest radiated peace, yet an unsettling sensation lingered in Ava's chest. With every rustle of leaves, she felt a surge of unease. What if the pirates returned? "Sandra, wake up!" Ava shook her gently, her voice laced with urgency. "I think we need to be ready." Startled awake, Sandra rubbed her eyes. "What do you mean? Is something wrong?" "I heard engines last night," Ava whispered, her heart racing. "We have to be prepared." As they quickly packed their belongings, the atmosphere thickened, heavy with tension. Everyone was on edge, adrenaline racing through their veins. "Where should we go?" Sandra asked, fear creeping into her voice. "There's a hidden ravine nearby. It might provide cover," Ava suggested, her resolve solidifying. "Let's head there now." As they navigated the forest, the distant roar of engines grew deafening, setting every nerve in Ava's body on high alert. They scurried into the denser underbrush, searching for safety. "Do you think they've found us?" Sandra panted, glancing over her shoulder. "I don't know," Ava admitted, pearls of anxiety coating her thoughts. "But we can't let them catch us. Stay close." With every crack of twigs, the shadows deepened around them, the haunting noise of pirates permeating the air. Somewhere in the distance, voices boomed, mingling with ghastly laughter. "Find them! They won't escape again," one pirate called out. And the tension escalated, pulling Ava into a whirlwind of urgency. As moments turned into seconds, Ava spotted the ravine up ahead, small grasses masking its entrance. "There!" she pointed urgently. "We can hide!" As they pressed into the ravine, Ava closed her eyes, inhaling deeply. They settled in silence, hearts hammering within their chests. The air thickened with unease as they prepared for whatever was to come. "What if they find us?" Sandra whispered, her eyes wide with fear. "That's why we need to stay quiet and listen," Ava replied, bravely concealing her own doubts. Should they find them, there would be no hesitation. They would fight for their lives. "The pirates are searching," Sandra stammered, her voice shaking. "I know," Ava murmured, holding Sandra's gaze. "But I believe in us. We can get through this together." The afternoon sun yielded to ominous clouds as the pirates' laughter echoed through the ravine. Sweat beaded on Ava's forehead, mingling with the tension that strung the air like a taut wire. She dared a glance outside, her heart racing. The pirates approached, brutish and relentless. "Get ready," Ava commanded, her words slicing through the oppressive quiet. They reached a narrow ledge that overlooked the pirates gathering below. Ava took a deep breath, firming her resolve. "We need a plan." "Can you spot anything useful?" Sandra asked between breaths, fear flickering in her eyes. "I see a small rock formation there. If we can create a distraction, we might lead them away." Ava brainstormed, her thoughts racing, adrenaline sparking her determination. Sandra nodded, her voice steadying. "I'll conjure the energy barrier when they get close." Ava felt a flicker of hope ignite within her as she rummaged through her gear. She took a deep breath, shaking off the doubts that threatened to consume her. "Can you create the barrier now?" she asked, watching as Sandra focused her energy. "Yes, I can do it," Sandra declared, her confidence shining through as the shimmering shield enveloped them. The pirates stomped closer, oblivious to Ava and Sandra's presence. Ava launched a series of small gadgets, each timed perfectly to create a binding series of explosions nearby, drawing the attention of their enemies. With every sound of blaster fire and raucous laughter, the weight of despair lifted slightly, replaced with surge after surge of defiance. "Let's go!" Ava urged. She and Sandra darted behind the rocky outcrops, executing their plan while the pirates diverted towards the sumptuous noise. "Now, Sandra!" Ava shouted, urging her friend forward. With a mean shimmer of energy, Sandra summoned the protective barrier. It arched around them, pulsating with power. "Yes, together!" Ava shouted, fully committed now as the pirates converged on their previous location. Sandra's light radiated between them, and Ava felt the weight of their allying energies heightening the moment. Ava's heart raced as their plan came to fruition. Using Sandra's protective energy, they struck back against the marauding pirates, now vulnerable to a united force. "Battle for our lives!" Ava shouted, emotions flooding her voice. Together they unleashed bursts of energy and gadgetry against their aggressors, their movements synchronized in a beautifully choreographed dance of survival. As the pirate leader toppled, disarmed and frustrated, Ava and Sandra maintained their defensive stance, ready for whatever came next. The tide of the battle began to shift. Hope ignited within Ava as more friends from New Chicago arrived, her colleagues rushing to their side just when they needed them most. "Stick together! Protect Sandra!" Ava shouted as her allies rallied beside them. "Zavria," Ava's childhood friend shouted, audible over the clamor of battle. The expert engineer had formulated a plan of action and scattered devices like seeds, creating shields and diversions. "Get to safety, and let's turn the tables on these pirates," Zavria urged. The swiftness of their camaraderie breathed life into Ava's growing confidence. With every passing moment, they forged alliances that would tower against even the fiercest of adversaries. "Sandra, maintain the barrier. I'll hold them back," Ava called, determination solidifying within her. "Yes, I will," Sandra responded, newly confident. Her energy crackled around them like a protective embrace. As the fight intensified, the pirates found themselves bewildered, unsure of how to counter the sudden reinforcements. Zavria launched a dynamic offensive that ensnared several combatants, skillfully disarming them. "Keep pushing forward," Ava yelled, urging her friends onward as they struck together. The synergy between all of them burgeoned, their friendship became their weapon. "There's a way to cut through their lines," Ava strategized, eyes darting across the battlefield. "If we can flank them, we can force their retreat." Their voices united, rising above the chaos as the friends moved forward. Each now carried the mantle of teamwork. Their confidence surged with every triumph, laughter echoing through the chaos. "Sandra, focus on the energy pulses. Let them flow," Ava instructed, as the two combined their strengths in perfect harmony. Sandra pulsed with energy. Her barriers shimmered brilliantly as she deterred incoming attacks, while Ava's gadgets whirred and sparked, throwing back against their foes. Ava sensed the shifting tides of the battle. Together, they outmaneuvered the pirates, revealing their weaknesses with each coordinated assault. "Now's our chance," Zavria urged, leading the charge as they overwhelmed the remnants of the pirate crew. The pirates, realizing the tide had turned against them, began to scatter, retreating before the united front of newfound allies. The cheers of victory echoed around them, filling the air with the sweet taste of success. With the pirates reeling from their defeat, Ava let out a breath she didn't realize she was holding. But before she could let down her guard, the pirate leader stepped forward, unyielding in his resolve. "You think you can stand against me? I will claim what is mine." His voice thrashed through the chaos, a grim sound stripped of fear. "Not today," Ava responded, her heart pounding but her resolve unwavering. "We won't allow you to harm anyone else. You underestimated us." The crew behind Ava rallied, empowered and ready for this final stand. The pirate leader's menacing presence loomed, but together they felt stronger. "Sandra, can you strengthen the barrier even further?" Ava called, eyes locked on the horizon of challenge ahead. "Yes, hold your ground," Sandra shouted, summoning a new wave of energy that cascaded around them in brilliant hues. The air crackled with anticipation as the pirate leader fired at their defenses. Ava and her friends braced themselves as Sandra held the barrier, shimmering with resilience. "Fight for everything we've built, together," Ava shouted, emotions coursing through her as she prepared her counterattack. With their friendship and synergy built upon trust, she led the charge, guiding them toward the pirate leader. The clashes echoed like storm fronts as the sailors scrambled, while Ava launched projectiles, lighting the sky in radiant bursts. Sandra's barrier sparkled as incoming blasts ricocheted harmlessly, the two forces clashing as sweat trickled down their brows. With every strike against their foe, Ava felt emboldened, her spirit buoyed by the bonds of friendship. The pirate pulled out all the stops, launching a series of aggressive attacks aimed at breaking through their defenses. "You think you can hide behind these tricks? Face me!" he bellowed, but Ava was undeterred. "Together," she implored. And as the last blast of his energy surged forward, Sandra released a shockwave of radiance, realigning their defenses. As the confrontation reached its climax, the courageous bond between them pulsed through the air. Energized by their shared determination, they fought against the odds as the pirate found himself cornered. Ava and Sandra struck simultaneously, casting away the enemy's growing threat. In an incredible display of raw power, they unleashed their combined strength, illuminating the dark forest with energy. Just as the pirate leader's threat crumbled, the cries of victory punctuated the air. "We did it," Ava cheered, exhilaration washing over her as they gazed at the scene of triumph before them. As the echoes of battle faded, the clearing transformed into a sanctuary of gleaming victory and camaraderie, woven from hard-earned trust. Ava absorbed the exhilarating joy she felt. These moments defined their journey, a testament to resilience and friendship. Amid the laughter and cheers, Ava turned to her friends, pride swelling in her chest. "We proved that compassion and unity can defeat even the darkest forces. Together, we fought not just for ourselves, but for every being out there who has been oppressed." Sandra beamed with radiance, her genuine joy reflected in her vibrant eyes. "You trusted me when I was lost. I never thought I could be strong enough to protect anyone." "You are incredibly powerful, Sandra. This victory belongs to all of us," Ava said, gaze steady, heart soaring. They had conquered their fears, crafted bonds that transcended species, and forged connections that could change the galaxy. As memories flooded back, she recalled the way fear once held her captive, how it had shaped her perspective of the universe. But now, she had witnessed courage rise from vulnerability. With reinforcements arriving, bodies gathered around, eager to share stories of adversity and triumph. Friends she had fought beside, allies she had discovered, moved forward together, united through the narrative they created. As the sun dipped lower, its warm glow bestowed upon them as they set camp for the evening. Ava couldn't help but reflect on the journey ahead. The defeat of the pirate crew was only the beginning of their journey toward intergalactic peace. "I will return to Alara. My people need to hear our story, to know that kindness can bridge our differences," Sandra said with quiet resolve, her eyes filled with purpose. "I want to help. You'll be the voice of hope in a world that desperately needs it," Ava promised, heart swelling with pride. As they prepared to reunite for a final farewell celebration, Ava found herself drawing strength from the very friendships they had cultivated together. With nightfall draping the grove in a blanket of stars, the air felt imbued with a sense of finality tinged with promise. As the campfire crackled, the night shifted from one of celebration to reflection. "You've changed my life in ways I can't describe," Sandra murmured, a hint of sadness mingled with gratitude flickering in her voice. "How do I thank you?" "By carrying our stories forward," Ava replied softly, holding Sandra's gaze. "Remember, you're more than just an alien. You are a bridge between worlds. We need that connection." The emotion was palpable as they prepared for Sandra's departure, a bittersweet reminder of the sacrifices made along the way. The ship shimmered in the moonlight, awaiting her return to Alara. As the moment approached, Oval felt the weight of their shared experiences hanging between them. "Promise me this. When you return, you will make the messages of compassion resonate across Alara," she said, her heart aching at the thought of losing such a friend. Sandra nodded, determination glimmering in her eyes. "I will. I'll spread the message of hope, showing that we can build trust and empathy through kindness. Together we've sparked a flame that will light the way for others," Ava said, feeling the warmth of sisterhood swell deep within her. In the moments that followed, as Sandra prepared to board the ship, the bond they forged became a beacon for the universe, a testament to overcoming fear through friendship. As Sandra lifted off, Ava felt tears prick her eyes but held fast to the promise of a brighter future. Now, at the dawn of a new day, Ava committed to building bridges, not just between humanity and aliens, but within her own world. She envisioned a united front against hatred and distrust, where acceptance flourished. Ava Chen, the advocate for intergalactic peace, her friends teased knowingly, yet she embraced her role with unbridled fervor. With the stars overhead as her guide, Ava saw not only a path of possibility, but the gatherings of kindred spirits set to shape the universe. "Here's to us, our stories, and the power of unity," she whispered into the vastness, her spirit alight with conviction. The experiences they shared would echo through eternity, allowing their legacies to intertwine.